Well, Elaine, I'm delighted to speak with you too, and to your many, many listeners.
People want to work for a company that not only has a purpose written on the kind of, if you like, written on the lanyard, but it's a purpose they can actually feel, explain, and touch themselves.
It actually scares me that this is what was happening at that point in time. So I could not be more proud of this milestone that has improved and extended the lives of people in Africa, especially children, many of whom never celebrated their 5th birthday.
Philosophy that I've believed in all my life, and that is that talent is broadly distributed in our society. It's opportunity that isn't.
Because if you don't know how your everyday work puts money on the bottom line of the company, well, what are you doing?
The way I look at leadership, if I have to use one phrase for it, lift as you rise.
So can you imagine getting into a business or a market where you actually spend 100 billion plus on a piece of paper? And this is where the industry went wildly wrong, and of course paid a huge price.
It was not just the job of a lifetime, it was the job of 1,000 lifetimes. And I was so humbled to have that opportunity to represent the United States and President Obama.
It's been actually a bad experience, but a good experience. One that I would never have asked for, and one that I've never wished on anybody. But for all of us, we improved our leadership skills.
I really feel strongly about the fact that every single government needs to prioritize health and make health accessible, have the financing for health in every country.
Guy with the best unit cost position wins. Get to a competitive unit cost position, full stop.
The economic consequence of something like that is humongous. And our view clearly is that the only way you can address such an exposures, what we'll call the aggregation exposures, is by having some sort of government backstop.
APAC is the region with the highest count of billionaire, with 831 billionaire. And that represents 38% of the global billionaire population.
So it was like a frying pan to the head. I felt like, gosh, I was like one of those business leaders in South Africa during apartheid. Where was I, So I've tried to change that.
And finally, this is the types of conversation that we have.
Fabulous conversation today. Many thanks for your time and insights.
Thank you, Elaine, for the invitation. Really enjoyed it.
Thanks for joining me today on this episode of Heads Talk. Don't forget to subscribe to the show via my website, elainepringle.com/Heads Talk, or wherever you get your podcasts. Finally, I'd like to thank our sponsors, guests, and you for helping to make the show possible. Please join me next time, where I'll be featuring more executives, C-suite leaders, and heads of multinationals.
Heads Talk podcast with your host Elaine Pringle Schwitter.